Hello, I'm Zafin, and welcome to my new channel with its first video. Now, anyone who knows me from my old channel knows that the ship behind me is the Skyship I made in vanilla. And before we continue on my Tekkit Skyship, I thought we'd celebrate and have some fun because, hey, I'm finally back and I'm ready to rock with the rest of you guys. So, I'm going to pull this lever and we're going to see some fireworks, okay? There seems to be a lack of fireworks. Damn it! Well, I obviously didn't set that up right. Bring this into Tekkit and nothing happens. Oh God! No! 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 Oh! That's a lot of stuff. Oh dear! It appears they may have annihilated my old world. Well. The power drive core has been destroyed. My old home, my precious home has been destroyed. Yet the Skyship no longer exists. Half the cliff face is gone. Somehow the speed has survived. The Rick Murray's Nightmare Minecraft aircraft, that survived. Well, one of the three did. And looks like my Zeppelin has survived but come out severely scarred. Oh well! Let's continue on, shall we? Time to get to the actual Tekkit Skyship build. So, the first thing I did was mark out a frame. This lets me know exactly how large the room would be, and then I went on to fill in its walls without doing the roof so that I could still see what I was doing. Next up, using nether brick, I marked out an area which would be used to store the matter from the drives, so that if I did overflow, which I thought it was going to do, it would all have a place to come to and store up. This would also eventually become a vault, making it slightly difficult to get into, and also where a lot of energy could be stored and used for other items using the old condensers. So, after I marked this out, I then went on to use signs to mark out exactly where all the chests were going to go for the rest of the storage, since I was going to import a sorting system so that you didn't actually have to come into the storage room to place everything in its chests. Now at the moment I'm using iron scaffolding. I do eventually decide that's not quite right. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't believe it looks particularly good. So after I put the diamond chest on the top and start putting signs on it, I decided to take the scaffolding out and I'll put in a different material, as you'll see in just a moment. So yep, I used glowstone, signed it all up, then I began in the section that was in front of the ore section, which was wood. Starting off immediately with glowstone this time, just to make it easier for myself obviously. I mapped this one out and continued on exactly the same as I did with the section behind. After about 20 minutes I managed to get them all done, got it all sorted out so that every item that you'd naturally get could now be thrown into one chest and eventually stored. But I haven't sorted out the sorter yet. nor the chest that's going to go to us. That would be a room a bit further back. So right now, I'm just importing a pipe which runs into the chest. Give myself an idea of the stylization, because I didn't want to just have a one pipe running straight down from the roof. Thought that would be bad. So I came up with a little bit of pattern. Now this is not the final pattern I used. Eventually I only used 1 gold ring near the bottom and 5 near the top with an obsidian crest around it. No obsidian, basalt. Once I had that pipe done, I sort of lined up the structures that came in line with the roof with all the chests below. So I had the place I could go up to just knock through and let me know exactly where each pipe was coming down. Make myself a bit of an easier time in putting the pipes in. You can see I just looked above and knocked out each part, let me know exactly where the pipes were going down and speed things up for me. I used diamond pipes on the top here because they made an easy sort where all I had to do is put the one item for the one chest in the black row, which meant only one item was going down and the rest would continue along the circuit. By keeping it in just one long chain as well, made it a little bit easier. And naturally, if you was building this out creative mode, would be quite expensive. And the whole Skyship would be extremely expensive. So I started running all the pipes down to the chests, as this would be the quickest part of this job for me to do. The whole thing actually took me about an hour to complete. And this is how it looked once it was complete. That's all around the top, 5 gold rings down and 1 gold ring just above the diamond chest. Nice and easy. Also added some storage tanks just for liquids. From above you can just see how all the diamond pipes just come out the top there, ready to be put into one long chain. Now I kind of distracted myself at this point because this water flow into the main engine was hugging me how it didn't really light up below at all. So I came along the top where the water was, knocked out an initially full, either a lamp or glowstone. Therefore, actually, I'm going to go with glowstone. Glowstone will work. I changed that. Now I just headed in and checked, take a look up, and I noticed it's not particularly brighter. So I go back out and I use lamps, because I know the lamps are actually quite bright. No particular reason why I picked black, it was just I think it's the taste of the colour for me. Black and purple, favourite colours. Right, so having finished that and got rid of my annoyance of an OCD there, I started adding in the snake and pipe system, which will connect each diamond pipe up in a chain. No circles here, just one long straight chain. This way, only one diamond pipe was reached at a time for each one item, meaning less likely of it getting confused and sending the wrong item to the wrong chest. Snake it back to the other side just because it means I can bring it all to a finish over one side, and really getting it all in a straight line rather than doing the long neck later. Up in about a minute. Now this system I've actually got a nickname for. I call it the snaking sorting system, just because it quite literally just snakes about until it reaches the end. Right at the end there was just the overflows for anything that isn't actually sorted. And adding in some gold pipes to speed the system up. After all, you put it in the chest and it goes out straight away. You're going to want to be out, and you actually wanted it, you're going to want to be able to go and grab it as fast as you can. I also added the items in each chest, as you can see here, sorry, each diamond pipe as you can see here, just to make sure the right ones will go in each section. Right, so the next task was to light up the storage room. Now, this I thought I'd do in just straight strips by putting white lights right along the side. Rather than forming a pattern like I would normally do, I made sure the storage area would be nice and bright, despite the glowstone that was already in there. As it's an area where you won't want to be able to read, and if it was dark, it'd be a bit of an awful area. Now this is the bit that I knew was going to be awkward, setting up some lights in the middle. I wasn't sure what I was going to do at first. I had the idea of doing 2 bars of lights either side that were strung out by iron fencing. Sorry, iron bars, but turned out a bit too close to the old gold rings. So I decided to do suspended sort of chandeliers with the vanilla lamps all lit up by a lever. Then I used some of Tekkit's black fencing just to add a different effect to them so it didn't look so plain. And the black fencing was also used to start off with, as it has got quite a unique look to it, and I do enjoy using it. A bit too much, I use it way too often in a lot of my gameplay builds. This is me just creating the star formation, then I knock out the middle, put a lever in and finish it up. Get it nice and lit. The black fencing, I then hook it off of the 4 middle lamps and then just hang some off the lowest one. I got up to the top to create a similar sort of cross shape to try and keep the actual holes in theme with the lamp itself. And then head to the back and put some more white lamps. As you can see, I'm not actually lighting up the area though where the storage for the energy would be, as that will have its own light source in it and will be quite closed off from the rest of the room. Although you'll be able to mine through the materials made, it would be difficult to blow through it. Next thing for me was to create the door system. Now this door I wanted to be wider than the engine room's door, purely because it's a storage area, you're moving big things into there. So I worked out a six block door system, which I've seen elsewhere and I can't remember where it was, and then I made it 2 pistons or 2 blocks thick just to add some depth to it, though later on I will notice a problem with walking through it. You're only walking, not running. The system is kind of messy as well at first. I'm going to come back and redo this in a moment. I'll admit, at first I had some difficulty trying to figure out exactly how I was doing it, and I wasn't even realising I've got 4 of the pistons too close in, and the redstone was just aiming. I will admit, doing this door, I was completely moving it at first. As you can see, I made a fair bit of a mess at the moment of the system. There isn't much room to move, and also I completely forget that I need to put the redstone on the other side. If I get round to it, and this bit is still also quite a mess. Hence the reason why, in a bit, I straighten it out. I started thinking about the lighting that would be needed when you come out the door here, but in placing it in, I realised later to leave it, as I can do that with the corridor itself. After I did the door, I started on with the emergency lights, both yellow alert and red alert. Also with red alert there's always an alarm, so I'll keep the alarms quite close to the red lamps, as they are wired in with the lamps themselves, so that when the red lamps are lit, so is the alarm. Excuse me. At this point I started forming a small pattern, just to keep things neat and tidy, and so it didn't look so haphazard. Now I adjust the alarm's range so that it would be very loud, even if you were at the back here. With an alarm here, you'd still hear a sort of echo. I couldn't quite figure out where I was going to put the alarm in, so eventually I just decided, not putting it here, I'm going to put it somewhere else. I thought about putting it about the white lamp, but then I realised it would get linked in with it when I light the white lamps up, and you always have an alarm sound. So I'll put it aside. Okay, so with the lamps all in, I bring up the bundled cable from the lower section so I can all link in the same colour again, and start looping it all round. As you can see, the orange lamps are lit by an orange cable, white lamps will be lit by white, and red lit by red, just as below. That way, all I need to do is switch one switch in engineering, and it will turn all white lamps off in the ship. Or if I switch the orange one, it will turn all the orange lamps on, or off, and same for red. Now, yes, I did miss out the lamps at the back. I will be them bit. Now right here I'm noticing that the door's not working quite properly, so I go haphazard, and thinking it's a mess, I smash most of it out. I always find a problem easy to fix when you can look at the problem more plainly. And since I couldn't look at it plainly, I made it so I could. Right back to basic, gave a box around it and set it up so that I could see every section nicely wired, all connected, ready to go. I put in the pressure pads and wired them sort of up at first, so I knew where those wires would be. Didn't do the opposite side just yet because I was still fiddling on this outside. Slow the doors down and stop them closing on me while I walked through. I decided to extend it by 2 and put a repeater in the way. Turn the repeater back, and that way the redstone signal's got to get through the repeater before the doors can close. Now at first I suddenly realised redstone is not a good idea, and remove the redstone part and just put in the redstone wire. As you can see, the doors have worked. I formed a neater pattern than before to bring the redstone wire from the pressure pads to the redstone torch that will deactivate the pistons and open the doors. This time it's a lot neater than it was. I hadn't yet noticed that I was missing a little bit of wire. Once again, this part is also done neater than before, just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm looking over wondering why it's not working, not realised one bit of wire is missing. Go down, notice the wire's not in the right spot. And once I've got the idea, the door's fixed. Now my favourite part. The storage section for all the dark matter. First thing I did was input a stone brick basalt floor and then build up the walls, making it extra strong, a little bit tougher to get into. The walls are on all 4 sides rather than just the 2 that are exposed, because from the inside it would look a little weird if you saw an iron wall and the rest of it was different. Now I was also going to put in a weird door lock system just to make it a bit more complicated. Not really thinking it through fully at the moment, but then I realised how to sort it out, and I'll make it so that by putting the lever in the right spot, you can open the door that you don't know the right spot is. Centralising the door, I then move into the back bit and flatten the walls off. Next part for me was to actually activate the door so that it would stay closed, and then knock through to send some redstone wire down and around the back for where the lever could trigger it. Once I spotted that the lever would work there, put the obsidian back in to make sure it still worked, and fix the wall back up. As I continued building the wall up, I was trying to think of where I was going to put some decor to the actual sort of vault room, and I was thinking of doing that with the purple lamps and white fencing. Now I decided the first thing I was going to put in was the lamps, just so that they could light up the area outside, and also because I knew that I would have to wire them up. I'm inputting the lamps at the moment. I'm just pulling them against the basalt, but I am planning on knocking it out using covers to hide the redstone wire. So at this very point, I had not quite thought of how I was going to hide the torch. I end up hiding the torch out the back wall. Using the covers, I'm building up a new block around it so that the wires inside a block space rather than taking up more room than necessary. This will also give me more room for the chests that I would use and the pipes to bring in all the matter. The whole time I'm still thinking about how I can make this look like a strong vault, and noticing a part of the lamps wasn't lit. So let me... Right now I've got only one of the shelves in. There will be 2 shelves in the end, but I didn't think I was going to be able to fit 2 shelves in. I'm using the white fencing just to create a form of pattern around the door room. And add some blocks in so that the fencing didn't all look one standard shape. I now also add some purple lamps in above the fencing so that there's a glow effect to go with it. And the white fencing I'm adding here would expose the vulnerability to the vault, so I actually also placed some basalt behind the fencing, which makes for a less flat appearance, and also another shelf on the inside. A shelf that I would have to mirror on the opposite side next to the iron wall. Adding the chests in. I'm adding as many chests as possible so we can store the maximum possible. Admittedly, if I use diamond chests, it would be now to store 4 more stacks of matter in each section. But I didn't want to be using in this vault the same chests that I used outside. And the hole in the middle there is just to run all the matter up here from. You'll see me connect that up in a second. I'll say a second, it was actually more like a couple of minutes. Adding in the second shelf, I will add also a layer of basalt bricks below it to create a full shelf, rather than have the chests just hang in there. At the moment I'm just trying to figure out how the roof area is going to be, which is giving me part of the idea for the third shelf. Sorry, second shelf, unless you count the bottom. Right, so I skipped over to the opposite side just to make sure I kept it all in one shape and pattern. Now I'm coming in here to add in the next shelf up, and also add the shelf below. And this is creating the secondary shelf or third shelf of chests for the maximum storage allowed before I finish off and put the full roof in. I'll go back to lamps, get some more redstone and purple lamps. I'll lift this up a little bit higher and just run them straight across. Then I'll mark out in little segments, sets of 3. With that, I'd pretty much finished one of the vaults. Now as I come over here, I decided to flatten off the back edge wall. Not back edge, front edge. After putting in this one's second shelf. Now I sort of start adding random extra parts to it, but I remove them just to make sure it still looks neat and tidy. You just see me add the extra parts now at the back and along the sides, covering up all the pipes. With section 2 finished and the iron hole that I completely forgot to recover, and I was trying to make it for the second side, I come and finish off bolt 1. And with that, the bolts were done. Next up for me was to actually attach the bolts to the overflow pipes. And overflow pipes, I thought these bolts were going to get the front of the storage section, but I popped them back. So I had to knock the overflow pipes back out and rework them in. I quickly go to the back to cover up the redstone torches that are visible. Then run the pipes down, first from bolt 2 and then from bolt 1. Keeping them symmetrical, as I go a bit OCD when they aren't. Knock out a few bits just so I can add some gold pipes in, along with redstone torches. This way to make sure everything goes into the bolts quicker. Now I quickly grab the bundles of wires, purely because I've just realised the back wasn't lit up, and add the wire in to make sure all the lamps will be on. Now I'll loop it all the way around even though I don't have to, just because it makes it easier, and if a creeper was to blow up one side, at least most of the lamps should stay working. So, that's the inside area completed. Storage room is finished. So, with the storage room complete, time for me to start work on the hull. But, before I say goodbye, I thought I'd revive this world. Show you exactly what I destroyed. For any of you that didn't know of this map, this is just a map I used to just send out because there's a castle over in this direction where you've got a few puzzles where you can play if you wish. Now I send this map to people who ask for it. Up here is the original Skyship I worked on. It was a lot smaller than the present one I'm working on in Tekkit that you just saw will be. This one is a hell of a lot smaller, in fact. Similar design. You've got the engine room in the middle, 2 drive rooms either side. In fact, hell with it. Whoops. That's where the bridge was, but I blew it up. Oopsie daisy. It's coming here. And oh, that's the one I want. There you go. Primary lighting on. Alright, so that'll have everything nicely turned on. Okay, so there's the original drive. First ever drive I ever did. Nothing actually inside there. Either side, like before, I've got the main drives. Oh, sorry, no, that was an engine. This is a drive here. This has only got lava inside it. Plenty of lava. Oopsie daisy. Yeah. I can smash this place up. All I have to do is reload it. I've got the world saved. Whoops. Down here, used to lead up to where the bridge is. Nice long corridor. The new Skyship, I haven't decided where the bridge is going to be yet. I think I'm going to do it at the front of the ship, to be honest. Here we got our blacksmiths. Or what I like to call the weapons engineering room. The medical bay. Both of these actually have to still go onto the new one. Down ahead there was going to be the crew quarters, but unfortunately I never got round to actually completing this part. Yeah, run, 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 run. And up here was the dining area, mess hall. This is all my old world, but hey, I don't really come on this much anymore. Dropping down below, we've got the aircrafts I made. The one that got me popular on my old channel is the Nightmare Minecraft aircraft that Rick Murray made. Well, it's from one of Rick Murray's videos, and then I did a actual Minecraft build of it. Ah, the first tree. This is the first tree I planted on this world. Got my Sonic Speeder over there. The Freedom Storm Zeppelin. There's my lightning rod tower over there for no apparent reason. My redstone output, which seems to have had its timing gone. And my lovely home. Oh, so very lovely home. Hello? Where are you, kitty? Kitty! Where's my kitty? No, that's not my kitty. Oh, it's my two Siamese cats. Meow. Well, enough of that. I'll say goodbye, and I hope you all have a good day. Ciao for now. Damn, I forgot about that trap. Whee!